Joan Bennett Kennedy, the first wife of the late U.S. Senator Edward Ted Kennedy and a member of America's most famous political family, has passed away at the age of 89. According to the Boston Globe, she died peacefully in her sleep. Born Virginia Joan Bennett, she came from a devout Catholic and affluent family. Joan grew up surrounded by tradition, privilege, and a deep appreciation for culture. Her ancestry even traced back to a woman accused during the Salem witch trials, connecting her to early American history in a remarkable way. She studied at Manhattanville College of the Sacred Heart in New York, where she became known for her grace, elegance, and love for music. A gifted pianist, Joan dreamed of a career in classical music, but her life changed forever when she met Edward Ted Kennedy, the youngest brother of President John F. Kennedy and Senator Robert Kennedy. Their meeting in the 1950s soon blossomed into romance, and the couple married in 1958. It was seen as the joining of two influential families and instantly placed Joan in the national spotlight. When Ted Kennedy was elected to the U.S. Senate in 1962, Joan became a familiar face in American political life. She stood beside her husband during campaigns, official events, and public gatherings. The Kennedys were often described as the ideal American couple, young, devoted, and committed to public service. Joan and Ted had 3 children, Cara, Ted Jr., and Patrick. Patrick Kennedy later followed in his father's footsteps, serving in the U.S. Congress from 1995 to 2011. But behind the public image, Joan's life was filled with personal challenges. Ted Kennedy's demanding political career and reported infidelities put great strain on their marriage. The 1969 Chappaquiddick incident, where Ted's car went off a bridge, leading to the death of campaign worker Mary Jo Kopeckin, marked a painful turning point for the family. Joan, who was pregnant at the time, stood by her husband through the ordeal, but the emotional toll was deep and lasting. Despite her struggles, Joan continued to be admired for her strength and grace. She was a classical pianist, music teacher, and a strong advocate for mental health and addiction recovery. She also authored a book titled The Joy of Classical Music. Joan was open about her battles with alcoholism and depression at a time when such topics were rarely discussed publicly. Her courage helped reduce the stigma around these issues and inspired many. Joan was open about her battles with alcoholism and depression at a time when such topics were rarely discussed publicly. Her courage helped reduce the stigma around these issues and inspired many. Her son, Patrick Kennedy, paid tribute to her, saying, "My mother was a loving parent, a gifted musician, and an early supporter of my father's political journey. She was also a powerful example for millions who faced mental health challenges. She will be deeply missed by our family, the Boston arts community, and everyone whose lives she touched." Joan and Ted Kennedy divorced in 1982 after 24 years of marriage. Ted passed away in 2009, and their daughter Cara died in 2011. Joan Bennett Kennedy is survived by her 2 sons, 9 grandchildren, 1 great-grandchild, more than 30 nieces and nephews, and her sister. No cause of death was disclosed, but family members said she passed away peacefully in her sleep.